Josh with a 47-leg multi. What's he saying? Richmond to win, Carlton to win.
All right, one of our mates every single week sends our group chat a fucking multi on his betting app that has like 100 legs, and he never wins. And every week he's like, "Oh,
up, bro.
So stiff! Oh, one leg man."
At least one leg sometimes is the Romanian under 15 soccer league.
Or you can just stop betting on fucking Zimbabwean badminton. Like, just stop it.
They put the bad in badminton.
Welcome back to another podcast, Fantasy Footballers Down Under. I am Ash.
I'm Justin.
And today we are talking running backs. We are going to do our top 10 running backs, which is a little bit interesting because we weren't exactly on the same page with our rankings. So
I call mine the right rankings. I call yours the wrong rankings.
But wait till we get to number 10. It's all his fault, but you'll see whose rankings are correct when we get to number 10, and we blame this person over here for who it is. But that's later. To start with, we're just going to ask each other just a couple overall fantasy questions. We haven't pre-organised these questions, so he's got no idea what I'm asking him. He probably doesn't even know a question yet to ask me.
That's why you're going first?
That's why I'm going to go first. Mm-hmm. I actually didn't pre-plan a question for you either, honestly. But we are going to give running back questions, and then after that we're going to give running back rankings. We're going to have a look at rankings. We both obviously have our phones on us because, like I told you last time, we do not use a laptop for any of this because our laptop is the thing that is recording it because we are poor and we don't have a proper podcast set up like most people.
No. That's at least a couple of months away. When we go on tour.
When we go on to a live tour.
Coming to an RSL near you.
They don't know what an RSL is because they're all from America, I'd say. Because no one knows.
Google it.
Google what an RSL is. It's an old person place that has about, what?
Piss and pokies.
That's all it has. So we're going to start off with just a couple of cheeky questions related to running backs. And I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to sit in your ball house. I'm going to say to you...
Yep.
Who will be the most valuable fantasy running back on the 49ers roster in 2019?
What a great question. You know, I'm kind of hoping that the coaching staff know that answer. It all depends on who's healthy.
True.
And it all depends on who they decide to start.
Yes.
I'll go in reverse order.
How many running backs do they have on their depth chart right now?
At least a quarter of the roster is running backs. From last check, I know we've had, I think it was 6. To quote me, I think it's at least 6 running backs.
Let me see how many running backs are currently on your roster before training camp starts. If your website works.
Oh, it won't. I can list some of them for you.
Start with some of them, because I know the main ones on the roster.
So we're going to go with who I believe will be the starter, and that is Jared McKinnon.
You think McKinnon will start?
I think they're going to give Jared McKinnon a chance.
So currently on the depth chart, McKinnon is not ranked, even in the top 2.
Because they've got Breida at the top.
They have Coleman as the current number 1 running back on the...
See, I don't see that happening.
So the current top 3 are obviously going to be Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, and Jared McKinnon.
Yes, and then we have Raheem Mostert, I should say.
You have Raheem Mostert, Jeffrey Wilson, and Austin Walter. So you were right, there is 6 on the depth chart.
Have we not got one named Jeff?
No.
Oh, man.
But you do have Kyle Juszczyk as a fullback, which kind of counts.
We love the juice.
Alright, so let's go with those top 3 that are only the ones that are probably going to be fantasy relevant.
Yeah,
so
alright,
McKinnon, Coleman, and Matt Breida. Who's, out of those 3, where's the relevance?
The relevance will be with whoever starts, and that could be a RBBC. Potentially, but in what I've seen, the news I've read, the things I've seen, I think McKinnon will have the most value.
Really?
I think Coleman's going to slot back into that
second role,
the backup role
that he had in Atlanta.
You know how he demanded to be paid more to get out of that second role and then signed back into that second role?
Well, see, I think that Breida has by far the most value there. I simply think that what he showed last year was really good. I think that he, just purely based on knowing the system, having a really good 2018, I think that he demands carries. He demands targets. I think he has the most targets, even more than McKinnon. I think he probably has the most, if not the second most carries, depending on injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think he by far outscores any of the others, and I would take... Coleman's going in like the 6th round now. Yeah. McKinnon, I think, is going ridiculously late. like 13th, 14th round.
Yeah,
and
Breeder's
the same. Breeder's
Yeah.
late, like double-digit rounds as well. So if you're going to take Coleman in the 6th for me, or where would you... Coleman in the 6th or Breeder in the 12th, where would you put your money?
Who's the better value?
Like,
Breeder.
let's say Coleman's the starter.
Yep.
Like, Coleman... Get rid of McKinnon. Let's say Coleman's a
Coleman
starter.
starter,
Breeder
Breeder.
is going to play that third down and
Goal.
second amount of carries
Yeah.
and probably gets goal line work. Where would you take? Breeder in the 12th or Coleman in the 6th?
Breeder in the 12th is a steal.
I think Breeder in the 12th is also a
Down
steal.
that way, yeah. Yeah, but it just depends on who's healthy there. I think, obviously, Breeder does come up, but I think they give McKinnon the chance he didn't get last year when he went down with a knee injury.
Well, last year McKinnon was meant to be
He was
monster.
Hyped. Like, the hype train was full going through the station
And he
at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
he came up... He got injured very close to the season because I'm pretty sure we'd already drafted and he got injured like between that last week of...
Between
like
practice
yeah.
and the first preseason game.
Oh, really? Was it that
Yeah,
early?
it was before that. He
okay.
went down. I think it was preseason training.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the training before the game.
camp. Yeah.
End of training camp just before preseason game. Went down with the knee.
All right.
So I'd be happy for that.
All right, so we say Coleman's probably getting the starting job. McKinnon should because McKinnon's a very talented player,
Yeah.
but Breeder, we both agree, probably has the
Probably has the most upside.
fantasy value.
Yep, absolutely.
Did you think of a question for me in that time?
Oh, I did think of a question for you in that time, and it's we're going down south.
All right.
We're going down to 305. Shout out to Pitbull. We're going to Miami.
Miami.
And it's a value question.
Okay.
It's a value question. Kenyon Drake,
Yep.
Kalen Ballage,
Yeah.
in that dumpster fire of an organisation,
Yeah, they're disgusting. They literally disgust me.
who are you more willing to draft?
No one.
No, you have to make a choice.
I don't want anyone from Miami.
No
one.
If there is a gun to your head and the shooter is saying you must draft someone from Miami in your fantasy football team, who do you see with the most upside? Who do you see having the better year?
Okay.
Because for me, they're very similar.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If I have to draft someone
Yeah.
on draft day,
Yep.
I'm going to take Ballage simply for the fact that I'll be able to drop him and pick up someone better off the waivers
no.
after the draft is over. But if you said to me who has more upside, if Drake gets the carries as like a full-time back, he will be like pushing RB1, but I don't think that he will get the workload because he often gets injured and he's never been given the workload. So he's going in like the 5th round, and I think that's way too early for someone who's never been given a full workload before. I think that Ballage will get carries. He won't be fantasy relevant. I don't think he's a steal even. I wouldn't even draft him late in the draft, but if I had to draft someone, I would only take him to drop him because I'm not paying a 5th round draft choice.
So you're telling me you'd stack all your chips on the Bellagio?
Yes, I would literally stack all my chips on the Bellagio.
Excellent.
Because I am not paying a 5th round pick
For someone who's not going to
for
have the
Kenyon
same...
Drake.
Yep.
If you're in the 5th round currently, you can get like I think even at the top of like Philip Lindsay is coming into the start of the 5th. Like
People are jumping at things. It's worrying.
in the 5th round, I'm hoping I've already taken
At least
enough running backs to not have to take
No.
Kenyon Drake.
No, I think by the 5th you'd want at least 2 running backs.
And if
At minimum.
and then in that round, I'm probably looking at players like Mike Williams, Kenny Golladay. Like I would rather take those like backup top tier receivers than a potential should be always injury prone Miami running back. I would rather wait. I would genuinely be more comfortable starting
Yeah.
like Adrian Peterson
Well,
or Peyton Barber.
yeah, you see those guys have the chance to go,
I would rather start Lamar Miller, who goes around the same time.
And that's not even because you're a Texans fan.
No, it's genuinely because he
genuinely
will
has-
get more of a
Oh,
workload.
yeah, absolutely.
Like-
Absolutely.
He will, and I think he's a better value. You know, in the last video when we were sitting here, everyone from that was watching it said, "Why do I sit with my legs open?" When you had your legs crossed the whole time.
Why's
Like,
that?
I have no idea. I don't know how people sit like this. It's just
This is my teacher sit. When I sit in the class, I'm normally legs crossed because the laptop's somewhere here, but no, I'm very accustomed.
I stand up all day. So
I can't do this. This is very annoying to me.
This
is not, and I'm just too big to do this. Like if let's get the. Hey, go, mate. No, this is weird. How do you do this?
No, because this is comfortable. This is when I sit here for the podcast, I'm on my leg up. This is great. I love this.
I feel like I'm exposing myself to the camera. Let's go this way.
All right. So
yes,
we've discovered over the start of this podcast so far that the 49ers backfield
is a mess.
Breeder's probably the most valuable in any draft so far. And you should... There are people out there that love the Miami backfield. I don't know why. They have... I actually don't know why. Kenyon Drake, like our mate, Renault, loves Kenyon Drake. He's all in on Kenyon Drake.
Absolutely.
And will reach like 4th round for Kenyon Drake, and I have no idea why. These people that flash. People love players that flash, and
then 3 weeks into the season he's going, why isn't he performing? He's not doing what I wanted him to. I drafted him with so much hope and he's underperforming.
That's like me last year when I drafted Royce Freeman in the 3rd round.
Ooh. That's just bad luck. Little old mate called Philip Lindsay rocks up and steals his starting job.
Do you know that Okay, how about this? All right, if I said to you last year, I think Philip Lindsay had 180 carries. Lindsay had last year, thereabouts. How many do you think Royce Freeman had? If Lindsay had 180, how many do you think Freeman had? Considering Freeman's so late in drafts and was such a bust. And Lindsay was a star last year.
I would have said what he would have had, maybe 60 or 70 carries.
130 something.
What did he do with all those carries? Because it did not transfer.
He actually had 130 something carries. And what? I heard that today and I was shocked. Because I drafted Freeman and then dropped him some point in the season, but 130 carries is a joke.
Did he do anything with those 137 carries?
No, he did a Ronald Jones and just...
Quarterback handoff, got the ball and laid down.
Yeah. Not ideal.
Oh, that's not great.
All right, so speaking of, Ronald Jones, those sort of players, I'm going to go into some rankings.
Okay.
And I'm going to quickly we're going to do this quick fire.
I like it.
All right, I'm going to ask you 2 players, and you're going to tell me which one you'd rather have. And these are not going to be players in the top 10. These are going to be players that are well later in your drafts, and we're going to go through which players we'd rather have. And he has no idea what players I'm going to call out, because honestly, I have no idea which players I'm going to call out right now.
This is what you call thinking on the fly.
So I'm just going to get the rankings up here, and I've got them up already.
Krampus or...
No one wants Krampus.
Everyone wants some Krampus.
No one wants Krampus. All right, we're going to do running backs. So, all right, let's go down here. Okay, we're going to do people between... Okay. Would you rather have... Matt Breeder.
Yes.
Stick with the 49ers. Or Nyheim Hines. And I'm not telling you where people are current ADP is.
Is this just who I'd rather?
This isn't who like rather.
This isn't like a Hines in this round, Breeder in this round?
No, this is
just a straight up
who would you rather?
Easy. Alright. I love me some 49ers.
I know you do.
But I also love the potential that Nyheim Hines possesses in that Colts offense. Especially as a 3rd down goal line back.
Freak.
There is a big potential for him to just go huge this season.
I think so too, and everyone underestimates how fast he is. Like, he's a monster. I think at his combine, like at the combine year that Hines was at, he was the 2nd fastest at the whole combine. Like, the whole combine. So...
No, I think definitely Hines would be the better value.
I agree.
Hines.
But if you had to guess, who's going higher in drafts, Breeder or Hines?
Judging by your posing of that question, I'm going to say Breeder is going higher.
Breeder is going higher as the 46th running back off the board, and Hines is going as the 49th.
Oh, so they're pretty close in their drafting.
Well, if you look at and then if you look at it by average draft position, wait, what the? Yeah, Hines is going below Breeder. All right, next one for you.
Yep.
Would you rather have? Right, we're going to go for one team. One team here.
Oh.
Would you rather have?
Yes.
Kareem Hunt, who's suspended for 10 weeks.
Yes.
Or Duke Johnson, who's not suspended, but still wants to be traded from the Cleveland Browns, and they said that they really want to give Chubb more passing work. So a potentially pissed off shit workload Duke Johnson, or a suspended 10-week Kareem Hunt who you could potentially bring in late into the season to make a playoff push.
So let me clarify this. You're asking me, do I want someone who's going to do nothing for the first 8 weeks of the season?
10 weeks.
10 weeks, sorry.
Because they
have the week 9 bye.
Yes.
Okay, so do I want someone who's going to do nothing for the first 10 weeks?
Yes.
Or do I want someone who's going to do nothing in the first 10 weeks?
Yes.
Yes. So, you've made this tough, mate, because this works in the same position. I don't think Duke Johnson is going to... I think Nick Chubb is going to have a really good start to the season. He's going to be hot for the start of the season.
Well, yeah.
I think Duke Johnson doesn't get a look in that offense. And then by the time Nick Chubb comes back, I think Duke Johnson's off that offense.
I was going to say...
I think he's going to be traded.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be there.
So, I will take the
10-game
suspension Kareem Hunt.
Interesting.
Which I know I've been mocked by the boys, but I've been taking him in some mock drafts when it comes to like round 9, round 10.
I would not take Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's average draft position...
Got to risk it, mate. You got to risk it.
He's going as the 52nd running back off the board. I really want to see the actual average draft position of these players, but I've only got it set as running backs, so whatever. Alright, let's go really deep. So it's the last round pretty much of the draft here.
Yep, this is your stash and hope for the best.
This is the last one I'm giving for you.
Alright.
Would you rather... This is your put on the bench...
He's a bench warmer. Yep, done.
Would you rather have... Krampus, Fantasy Footballers quote,
hide your children.
Doug Martin, or go the Oakland big Jalen Richard and hope that Jacobs gets injured. I'm going to give you a triple because these are all backups. So this is essentially Doug Martin will come in if Josh Jacobs gets injured.
Down, yep.
Jalen Richard will have a role in that offense regardless because he's going to be the third down back to either Jacobs or Doug Martin and probably still get a decent carry work. Yep. Or a third option is your last round. Do you take a shot on Devin Singletary and hope that LaShawn McCoy either breaks down because he's old or they want to give the job to a young person?
Funny you mentioned that because I was just looking at the rankings and I did see Devin Singletary's name. I don't...
So you've either got a backup to Josh Jacobs. Doug Martin essentially has no role in the offense unless Jacob gets injured.
Pretty much, so that's a win.
Rashad,
who's
going to have a role in the offense with Jacobs there, but is probably only a play if you have to, if every player in the team gets injured. But he has the potential to have a good game only because he's going to be on the field.
Yeah.
Or Devin Singletary, whose draft capital is really good and he's going to be the future in the Buffalo backfield, but LaShawn McCoy's there.
Yeah. So I'm a risk taker. I do like risks, and I think had you not brought up Singletary's name, I would have told you I would have been taking Krampus. But no, I would take Devin Singletary.
I think that's the
I think he has so much potential there because inevitably you are looking at two 47-year-olds in front of him. Him being the eternal one who just keeps going. He said he wants to play on next year.
Yeah, we always rep the old people in this. Frank Gore,
French Montana, DeAndre Hopkins, Mr. 99 overall. Madden, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I saw that. And I got the notification about all the players react to like rankings, which I love those sort of things because everyone always gets pissed off that they're ranked so low.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually look at it yet. I don't know if you saw any of the people's reactions, but
they were quite funny.
Did anyone get not happy with their?
No, was it?
I haven't seen them.
Bakhtiari from the Green Bay Packers got a 97. He's like, I don't do much. I don't have a big role, but I'm okay with this ranking. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I would be.
Well, he got the same ranking as J.J. Watt.
Yeah. So
speaking of the Texans' defensive ends, just quickly, did you see that the NFL Players Association is suing Houston on Clowney's behalf because we signed him to a franchise tag as a linebacker, but last year he played every snap as a defensive end
as a rusher,
bar 8. He played 8 snaps for the whole of last year at linebacker, but he's technically a linebacker. So we franchise tagged him as a linebacker, which is $2 million less than tagging as a defensive end.
Oh, you guys did the dirty. He's going to sue the pants off you.
So, you know what? If I was
You're not helping your cause for keeping him on the team.
No, but if I was Houston right now, I would, instead of paying Clowney, because we have Merciless as well, I would trade Clowney to the Chargers and take Melvin Gordon and pay Gordon and then drop Miller or trade Miller. Or I'd just drop Miller and then have Gordon and Devonta Freeman.
We need to get on the phone. We need to get on the phone and make that
who are we going to call? Because Houston don't have a general manager.
Where's Bill?
Let's call Bill. Bill will be there till 2042 because we don't have a general manager. And every single week he's going to use the line, I need to coach better. Which is what he says every week.
Yeah. Which is like just covering your ass pretty much.
Pretty much. All right, you want to give me... Do you have the rankings up or you want to borrow these?
I do have the rankings up.
Hook me out with a few. Would you rather? I won't look at the rankings. I kind of know the rankings, but I want to look at them.
All right. That's a bit low. All right. Would you rather?
We need a big sign. It's like, would you rather segment
flashing
of the show?
We'll have to get a flashing light.
I'm not going to edit that on the screen. I can't be bothered. We're raw here. This is a raw podcast.
Would you rather? There's the sign. Would you rather Todd Gurley?
Ooh, geez, we're going high.
With his
25-year-old
knee and his 87-year-old knee.
With his arthritic knee.
Would you rather Todd Gurley,
yes,
knowing the issues he may have, and knowing that his knee could flare up after week 1 and they shut him down for the season?
Yes.
Or would you take the risk on someone like...
This is going to be super low.
No. It's not super low. Would you take the risk on someone like Royce Freeman?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Not super low, but...
Okay, so here's the thing.
Mid-pack. Because Royce Freeman was highly touted when he came out.
Okay, so here's the thing.
College.
This is a huge gap. So Royce Freeman's like an 8th round pick. Todd Gurley is essentially a 2nd round pick.
In essence, quotation.
So, if you're saying in the 2nd round, who would I rather take? I'm going to take Gurley.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let's say it rolls around to like the 5th round.
No, but if you said to me right now, I either like take Royce Freeman in the 8th or take Gurley in the 2nd, I'm probably going to take Freeman because I would rather take someone else in the 2nd. I don't want to pay the price for Todd Gurley. Not like if Todd Gurley comes to me, if I'm say pick 5 in the draft and Todd Gurley comes to me at 305 and I've already got 2 running backs, then I'll take him.
Yeah.
If he dominates the start of the year and his knee looks fine, I'll use that to trade him. But if you say to me, I'm taking Gurley where he's actually being drafted, or I'm taking Freeman and hoping that he shows up, Lindsay, I would rather take the shot on Freeman than take Gurley just because I'm so scared that his knee could literally blow up at any time and he could miss so much time.
I think that's everyone's worry. The fact that the team has not made any clarification of that situation, they've just kept it all under wraps.
But they did say that he's not playing anything in the preseason. Which
is a concern.
Yes.
Because you think if it's something you're getting over, you'd be testing the knee. You'd be seeing how it goes.
They know.
They know something that we don't.
No, I think they just know that he... Oh, I think the thing is no one knows. I think the thing is...
I don't even think Todd Gurley knows.
No, I do. I think at any stage his knee goes... Poof, and at any stage you lose your 2nd round pick for an indefinite amount of time. And I don't want to... I would even struggle to draft Todd Gurley in the 3rd round, and he could finish as an RB5. He has the potential to finish in the top 5 RBs, but I still would be scared to take him in the 3rd round.
No, that's okay.
I would rather take...
I tend to agree with you on that.
I would rather take Leonard Fournette.
That's big coming from you.
Todd Gurley.
I love Leonard Fournette.
I don't like Leonard Fournette.
You hate my love for Leonard Fournette.
Correct, but I'm less scared of Leonard Fournette because he has...
Still an injury-prone guy.
Yes, but he has the potential to be injured.
Of course.
Todd Gurley is injured. Todd Gurley is now forever injured.
Forever injured.
He's like forever unclean, but forever injured. It's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next question.
Next question.
I'm just going to keep quoting the fantasy footballers because...
Is that because we
love the fantasy
We love
football.
them and we watch them a lot and we listen to them all the time.
Yes, probably.
And one of us has the ultimate draft kit and one of us doesn't.
That's because my draft rankings are better.
I'm using it as a...
Yours aren't.
What? Hey.
Okay, keep going.
We need to keep going. Sticking in Los Angeles.
Okay.
This is a handcuff question.
Ooh, I like handcuffs.
When Todd Gurley goes down with an injury,
Yes.
and confidence there, when,
Because he will.
who?
Who would I rather
They're
have?
on the way by. Who would you rather? Malcolm Brown? Would you rather Darrell Henderson?
Darrell Henderson. Brown.
Even though he's
Yes.
apparently now ranked lower,
Darrell Henderson is technically the third on the depth chart.
you think they love him though because they traded up to get him?
You don't trade up to get a running back when you have Todd Gurley
Again, they know something we don't.
if you don't like the running back you are trading up to get. Todd Gurley, if Todd Gurley goes down, I think Malcolm Brown would be a better back because he's been in the system. But Darrell Henderson is a better running back.
His college highlights were
And
incredible.
better running backs will always prevail in the end. I would only take either of them if I had Gurley. And if I had Gurley, I would take Henderson because I would never want to start Brown. I don't think even if Gurley was out, I don't want to start Brown. He doesn't entice me to start him. Darrell Henderson is exciting to start. And I think that's what you have to go with.
But you know who they said wasn't exciting last season?
Who?
CJ Anderson. And look what happened there.
I still wouldn't start.
Trundled on in.
Yeah,
Put up a couple of
monster
hundred weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Cost me the championship game, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay.
Don't tell your friends who you plan on picking up from the free agency because they'll knife you in the back, Rowan. Pick up CJ Anderson.
This is the second podcast in a row we've been mentioning our commissioner,
I know.
who doesn't
We
want
love
to watch,
him, but he's a sneaky bastard.
and he doesn't want to watch our own podcast.
Doesn't like our rankings. I don't know why.
Who didn't he like? Who didn't he like in our rankings? He didn't like the fact that we
He
had
didn't
someone...
like the...
Derrick Henry.
He didn't like the fact that... No, he didn't like the fact that you suggested to the fans
to draft
to take a
people.
second quarterback.
Okay, I said if you're going to take a second quarterback, take them like with your last pick.
I'm assuming he heard that when you take your second quarterback...
And
in
then
the
just
12th
quit.
Yeah, I'm assuming he heard when you take your second quarterback in the 6th round, that's when he closed the laptop and went to bed.
When you take Mahomes, make sure you take
also
luck
take-
in the next round.
Oh, no, that's when you have to convince him to go to a 2-quarterback league.
Superflex. Alright, we're going to move on. This episode is about running backs, and we are going to hit up our top 10 running back rankings. And this is what I was telling you before about how our rankings are all over the joint. It's because the big fella over here who wrote, I've got the UDK, he has someone so overvalued that it has leapfrogged a whole bunch of elite running backs and mushed him somehow into 10th place. In 10th place in our running back rankings is...
Kerryon Johnson.
How? How is Kerryon Johnson ranked 10th? I have him ranked like 15th.
That's because you don't believe.
And he somehow has Kerryon for like... I think I had Kerryon Johnson for like 2 or 3 receiving touchdowns, and I think you had him... You were like, oh yeah, I got him for like 5 or 6.
Okay, that's what he's going to get.
So our 10th ranked running back is the Detroit Lions running back, Kerryon Johnson.
Now, I'm going to preface this. Preface? That's the word.
Preface. You're a teacher.
I'm a teacher. That's really worrying. I'm going to preface this conversation by saying Gurley is out of our top 10. So I'm going to start by saying Gurley's not even in our top 10 rankings.
Yes, no.
So just in case anyone worries.
No, Gurley's not. Yeah.
Kerryon Johnson, though. We've got him down for a smidge under 1,000 rushing yards.
Which I'm okay with. I don't think he'll get to the ton.
We have him...
1,000.
The ton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Ton is 1,000.
But I'm very confused. In cricket,
a ton is
a
100.
ton is 100.
Maybe we need to up the stakes.
Whoa!
Maybe we need to have 1,000 not out.
That is... Okay, anyway.
Anyway,
I just confused
we have him
myself.
down for 10 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
10 touchdowns.
But it's a high-powered offense.
It's a hugely high-powered offense. And the situation with their wide receivers and with Matthew Stafford in general leads me to believe that their rushing cohort will have a better situation.
So what do we got here for? How many rushing yards?
Have him for 966 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns.
And what do we got? Let's just read out our projections for them and we'll chat about it.
50 receptions for 340 yards and 4 touchdowns.
4 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
So 14 touchdown year from Kerryon Johnson puts him in our 10th place
And
spot.
I can tell you exactly how it's going to happen. Right, it's going to be red zone. Play action. Fake to Kerryon Johnson.
Yes.
Stafford runs the bootleg.
Yes.
Kerryon's just kept running.
Oh, the other way.
Pop over the top.
Back to
him.
Four
Touchdown.
times?
4 times in the one... No, not in the one game. Throughout the season, I see a lot of red zone work for Kerryon.
I disagree. I think Kerryon is around the 15th. I would still rather have Josh Jacobs, Marlon Mack, all of those guys over Kerryon. Kerryon needs to prove it to me before I will believe it. So let's move on.
Right.
Let's just go quick through these.
Yep.
Let's not go too quick, but quick
Let's
enough.
just have a show. All right. Now,
Let's go with who it is,
number 9.
what we've got them projected
Yep.
for, and what we're going to...
Bang, bang, bang.
Let's go.
Mr. on my team last year, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon,
we have him down for 1,200 yards,
Big
8
year.
touchdowns, 51 receptions for 353 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns.
So it's at 10 touchdowns we've got for Joe Mixon.
About 10, yes.
10 right touchdowns, about 1,400 all-purpose yards. That would put Joe Mixon, for me, that's a big year. We have really pumped up the stats on these backs. And
Inflation is wonderful.
Joe Mixon, I think, at the moment is going about running back for 7 or so off the board. We have him at 9. I don't believe in Joe Mixon. I don't think Joe Mixon will really live up to that 6th or 7th overall just because their offensive line is garbage and they lost their first round pick.
Yeah.
And Andy Dalton does not really threaten many defenses.
No. He was impressive last year though, Mixon. A lot
He had a big year.
a lot of red zone work, a few massive break-off touchdowns he had as well. Again, the injury to the rookie offensive lineman is going to hurt.
Yeah,
especially they're blocking up the front. That's going to be very tough to get around. So I think, it'll be a kind of a wait and see. Number 8, Devonta Freeman.
Wow, yeah.
What have we done? Devonta Freeman.
This is me. This is because of me.
This is you. So I favoured Kerryon, you favoured Devonta
I'm
Freeman.
all in on Devonta Freeman.
1,030 rushing yards. 11 touchdowns you've got him down for.
Big red zone trade.
40 receptions for 400 yards. 3 receiving touchdowns.
Let's just keep in mind, before people flame us for these rankings,
It's him.
is if this player plays all 16 games. We are not accounting for injury in any of these rankings.
It's Devonta Freeman. He's gone in the 3rd game.
Yes. So this is, if these players play 16 games, this is what's going to happen. I know that you have to draft people based on risk, because if we said Gurley was going to play all 16 games realistically, he would be in the top 5. But
Taper your expectations.
yes, so
Quite.
This is us projecting Devonta Freeman playing all 16 games with Coleman gone in a high-powered Atlanta offense. 1,000-yard season on the ground for Devonta Freeman is not out of the question at all. And
no.
with the amount of ability that Atlanta have to move the ball down the field, double-digit touchdowns on the ground or in total for Devonta Freeman is, I think, is almost guaranteed if he plays 16 games.
No, I tend to agree. His injury. His injury risk is going to be the thing that holds him back if he doesn't play all 16. Obviously, the stats won't be as good, and he probably will slide down those rankings.
You're sitting in the 3rd round. Devonta Freeman is on the board. Kerryon Johnson is on the board. We have Devonta Freeman ranked higher as a group. However, who are you taking? Kerryon or Devonta Freeman?
Freeman.
Really?
Freeman or Mixon, if you had to. Around that kind of end of the 3rd, start of the 4th.
Well, Mixon is in the 1st. Mixon is being drafted in the 1st round. Devonta Freeman is being drafted at the start of the 3rd round.
So there's a steal for you.
So that's why I think Freeman is such a good pick this year, because you are getting a starting running back in a high-powered offense and someone who has proven it before that he can put up elite numbers in the 3rd round. Whereas Mixon hasn't proved he can be a stud. He's being really good, but he's not a stud, and he's going in the 1st round. So, yeah, that's just whatever.
Sounds good. Let's roll on to number 7. Number 7.
Let's just keep in mind, we did these rankings about a week ago, and I can't really remember these top 10. So this is a surprise for me when you take them out.
Number 7, Leveon Bell.
Okay.
Leveon Bell. Mr. Have a year off.
What do you think about Lev Bell this year? What do we got?
It'll be interesting to see how he goes with an offensive line that is nowhere near as good as that Pittsburgh offensive line. Le'Veon Bell has never been tested like this. He's never had a bad offensive line.
True.
So it's going to be tough to see what he does.
Yeah.
In a new city, in a new situation, gelling with those players. We still got him down for decent numbers. I don't see Leveon Bell living up to that hype. And I've seen drafts where he's going late first, early second.
Yeah, Leveon Bell is, from what I've seen, predominantly an early second round running back, and I just think that everyone is really like all about, oh, he's never shown it other than in Pittsburgh where everyone shows it. But let's not forget that when we used to watch replays of Leveon Bell, he does not get called Mr. Patience for no reason. No. His running back, his ability to run and hit holes and wait for blocks to open up could make the Jets' offensive line look better than it actually is. And I think that 1,000 yards in the air, 1,000 yards on the ground, 500 yards in the air, and double-digit touchdowns isn't out of the realm of possibility for Leveon Bell. And you don't like him as much as I do. No. But I think that if you get Leveon Bell as an RB, if you are someone that goes RB, and you get Leveon Bell in New York as your second running back, you are laughing. Even if you go Mixon Bell,
that's still a good backfield you have going on.
And that's the thing. I would be hesitant with Bell as my running back 1, but Bell as my running back 2 is an absolute steal, because if you have Bell as your running back 2, then you have 2 running backs that have potential to finish in the top 5, or even Bell could finish as a top 3 running back. Yep. I don't think he can finish as 1 and 2, but I think he can finish as top 3 running back. And I think people need to be less scared of Leveon Bell.
Yeah. Yep, no, that's completely fine. We have him down for 1,100 yards.
Yep.
7 touchdowns.
Yeah, so
he's the lowest in the top 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know how he's going to gel behind that New York offensive line. So if we've tapered him off a little bit on the touchdowns, he got a lot of work through the air.
79 receptions for 600 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so he's going to get a lot of points through the air. If you're playing, just so you know as well, these are all PPR ranked projections. So half point PPR projections. So a lot of that work through the air is going to really bump up those stats.
Yeah, look for a lot of checkdowns. Look for a lot of hit the hole, hit the gap.
Yeah, look for a lot of Darnold to be hurried, dump off to Bell, over the top, through the middle. Bell can even break off a few times this year, I do believe. Mm-hmm. He's going to be fresh from that year off.
Absolutely. Let's move to number 6, David Johnson.
DJ.
1,240 yards, 9 touchdowns on the ground, 61 receptions for 488 yards, and 3 touchdowns through the air. I'm excited for him.
Same.
That offense has changed for the better, and I think it's a whole new start. We went through that year where he injured himself, and he just had that down year of pretty much no running. It was just a lot of. He was not great that year.
He wasn't the David Johnson that we learned to love 3 years ago. David Johnson has always been that block. He came out and said a couple of years ago he wanted the 1,000. I don't think he's ever going to do the 1,000, but I think if he's going to do it,
this is the best chance.
This is his best chance to do it. They have a rookie quarterback who is going to draw a lot of attention, who has the ability to run. He has a fully revamped receiver core.
Yeah, we got Larry Fitz, Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk.
So 3 really good threats through the air. I think this year, with less attention towards himself, especially if one of those rookie receivers break out, David Johnson has the potential to have a monster year through the air and even a monster year on the ground. And I think that if I was going to go ceiling, I think
where are you looking?
Probably 1,750 all-purpose yards and 15 touchdowns isn't out of the realm of possibility, but I don't think it will happen.
You'd be wanting all the stars to align and all the cards to fall in the right direction.
All the cards and all to fall in the right direction.
Everything.
Yeah, all right.
All the cards.
Yeah.
All right, top five.
Before we say the top 5, in your comments down below, name your top 5 in order. Let's see if they match. We're giving you a second. Pause the video. And go.
All right, number 5, Melvin Gordon.
Melvin, and if we had looked at these rankings and sorted them out, because we did this before the Melvin Gordon trade situation, the holdout situation.
Our assumption was he was playing for the Chargers.
Correct.
Might not happen.
If now, with all this happening, does Melvin Gordon move down in your rankings? If I said to you right now, would you rather Melvin Gordon with all this up in the air stuff, or let's go Leveon Bell?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I think I would be taking... Look, Melvin Gordon's a great running back.
Yes.
And I'd still be... Yeah, he has proven it. I'd still be safe in keeping him, no matter where he goes. Look, he's a top 5.
Even with the potential for him to not play, which I don't think will happen.
I don't know if I read someone he wasn't going to hold out.
Well,
I don't think he was holding out.
There is the potential for him. He could do a Lev Bell.
That's scary. He set a precedent, Leveon Bell.
Correct.
Now everyone knows I'm going to get paid. I'm going to take a year off.
So Gordon could technically do a Bell. I don't think he will.
No.
But he has the potential to. So
all that doesn't faze me.
I am a little bit worried, and I probably wouldn't take Gordon at his current pick 5 ADP. I would rather take the two big receivers, Hopkins and Devonta Adams.
Yeah. I've seen him floating from like the pick 5 to pick 9 in some drafts, depending on those people's
perception.
Yeah, perception of what he's going to do. We have him down for 1,240 yards, 9 touchdowns, 61 receptions for 488 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
It's a solid year.
Let's see if that all comes to fruition. Just out of curiosity, if he does get traded, where's he going? Is he going?
I would love him to, but we don't. After we paid Brock Osweiler, I feel like we're scared to do anything else. Like, seriously, I feel like we have no moves.
Yeah, I feel like your fans are very scared. If you're willing to offer Osweiler that much money, how much are you willing to offer other people?
Yeah, so I don't think we'll take him.
We're taking Marshawn Lynch for $5 million each season.
I would love to take Melvin Gordon. I don't think we will, though, so...
No. All right. Okay. Top 4. The big boys.
The big boys. The big top 4. What order? This is the big boys. This is the big top 4. This is your Kamara, Elliott, Barkley, McCaffrey. What order have we got him in?
All right. Number 4, Alvin Kamara.
I think he's a consensus number 4.
Yep.
And yes, we are Australian. We say Alvin Kamara.
Should we give it a crack? Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. Kamara's going to be a gun this year for the New Orleans Saints. I think Super Camario is just an absolute stud, especially with Mark Ingram gone and Latavius Murray in. I really love Alvin Kamara. That was really good. I rated that.
That was good. I like it. I don't know if I could do the rest of the podcast. It's weirding me out.
What do we got?
Alvin Kamara, 1,033 yards, 11 touchdowns on the ground. He's going to have 85 receptions for 756 yards and 5 through the air.
I didn't realize we have him down for over 1,000
We have
rushing
him
yards.
for 1,000 rushing yards and double-digit touchdowns.
Okay. Alvin Kamara, obviously, he's in the tier with the top 4, but to me, the top 3 are in a tier of their own. Kamara is in a tier of his own. I wouldn't take Kamara anywhere but the 4th, but number 4. I have a real trouble taking someone like Alvin Kamara who doesn't make his money running between the tackles.
No.
So, and he's never had the full work. I know they're going to use Murray the same way they used Ingram, but all the hype is Kamara is the guy.
Yeah.
And
I
have trouble, essentially Kamara is a glorified third down back who is a monster.
Unpopular opinion.
Very unpopular opinion. It's the same with McCaffrey. They are really good pass catching backs that have developed into really good first, second, and third down running backs.
Now keep in mind, does this change because this is a PPR ranked list?
This is why he's so high.
Yeah. I feel like
if it's a standard league,
Melvin Gordon's ahead of him. For me.
If it's a standard league, Gordon is ahead if Gordon is secured at
of course.
LA.
Of course.
So, yeah,
okay.
I think Kamara has a really good year. I think Kamara has the potential to finish as running back 1 overall, but I think he has the least potential to finish at running back 1 overall out of the top 4 guys.
Yeah, I'll put it on record. I think any of those 4 have the chance to finish RB1.
I agree.
I see him with the least potential. Purely based on
the fact that he
does.
And he has someone else there that is going to get a serious workload.
Of course. Right, number 3.
This is controversial.
A lot of you have him number 1.
And if you're not following us on Instagram,
You should.
at the Fantasy Footballers, it's just Fantasy Footballers Down Under, I put out a little post hating this guy. And since I said about this guy, I said, he could go out and belt someone and your season is over. You could lose your league if you F up your first round pick. This person could F up at any time. And since I made that video on Instagram, he has already been sued.
Again?
He's not being... The person...
Oh.
You know who we're talking about now. We're talking about...
It's Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott is our number 3. We'll go through his stats in a second, but the security guard that he pushed is charging him with like...
assault.
Like, no, it's like... I can't remember what it actually... I'll tell you.
Being a
you read out his stats, what we've got him down for, and I'll tell you what he's being charged for.
We
Because
have
a
him
while
down.
ago.
Now, this is the big point. I didn't realise this. So we had Kamara down for 1,000 yards.
Yes.
We have Zeke down for 1,500 rushing yards.
Yes.
10 touchdowns. 81 receptions for 630 yards and 3 through the air. We have him down for 2,100 all-purpose yards.
2,100.
2,100.
That's a massive year. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think he can do
And
it.
he's still number 3 on our rankings.
I can't...
What's he been charged with?
Las Vegas security guard. Presses charged against Ezekiel Elliott. I can't see.
I mean, if people are not familiar with his past, what
It
was
just
he...
says, security guard filed charges against Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott after an alleged assault in May.
And in the video, all he did was kind of push him with a forearm.
Yeah.
It's not like it was a punch.
No, but this is the thing. Him being charged for this isn't going to affect his season at all. But I'm just saying, he has the potential to do dumb things.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Why would I draft someone? If there's 20-point difference between the top 3 running backs at the end of the year, and it's the 3 that we have now,
Yep.
give me the safety of the 2 others that don't like to belt people. Simple.
You know what they say? If you don't punch someone, you keep playing football.
Correct. They all say that. Everyone says that.
Everyone says that. I mean, you saw the issues he went through with will he be suspended, won't he be suspended from the last incident he had. I've forgotten what that was, but...
I'm sick of it all. Let's move on.
Not good. All right. So there's 2 left. 2?
2 left.
2 left?
2 left.
2 left. 3 down there. I've got my finger stuck. 2 left. We have McCaffrey, we have Barkley. Who's going to be number 1?
I think everyone knows who number 1 is. I've been very vocal.
You're right. It's Marshawn Lynch. Skittles is back.
Run the ball.
He's having a big year. He's coming for revenge from the Super Bowl where they should have run the ball.
They should run the ball.
All right. Number 2, Christian McCaffrey.
CMC. Run CMC. Big year for CMC ahead. Big year last year for CMC.
What a big year for the white dudes.
Those arms, they're huge. He has huge arms and huge quads.
There's a photo where he's taking the carry.
Yeah, and he looks like his arms.
His biceps are bigger than my head.
His arms are huge.
It's like...
Everyone knows the photo we're talking about. If you haven't seen the photo...
Just Google Christian McCaffrey arms.
And it will be... It is... Ugh.
He came into the league. He was skinny.
Yeah, he's a huge...
Don't know what they're doing in Carolina, but he's been hitting the bicep curls. The bicep curls and the thumb press. He's been hitting that because that is... The development's crazy.
What have we got him down for?
We have him down for only 1,050 rushing yards.
Not a big rusher.
Only 9 touchdowns. But here's where he makes up the points.
How many touches?
104 receptions.
Huge.
For 852 yards and 7 touchdowns through the air.
Yes.
I see pretty much him being used on a 4-wide set as the 5th receiver.
And here's the thing. I think McCaffrey has the highest chance to finish as running back 1 overall.
But
because he has such a good workload through the air, because he's on a better offense than who we have at number 1.
Yeah. You can probably make assumptions.
It is...
Saquon
Barkley.
No, Saquon Barkley, we have him down for 1,480 yards, 12 touchdowns, 78 receptions for 700 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns.
The good thing about Barkley is his ability to rush in a team that sucks isn't affected because his ability to run between tackles, stop on a dime, cut left, cut right, I did that the wrong way, is... Second time. No one else in the league
There's
can
videos.
move like Barkley.
There's slow-mo videos of him cutting through
Yeah.
and finding the gap.
It's unbelievable.
It's stupid how good he is at seeing gaps before they happen.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like, he's almost pointing to the linesman saying, no, get over there.
Yeah.
Block for me. Here I go.
So, Barkley, I think, will rush. I think Barkley and CMC are probably equal on opportunity to finish at RB1. I think Barkley is the best, solid, flat-out, standard league running back by a mile. I think he has... if you've never watched a highlight package of Saquon Barkley...
You better do that.
Do it, and you will understand why everyone loves him and why he's able to put up such a good performance in such an abysmal offense.
Absolutely. I know last year in our draft,
he went number 3.
Yeah, the person who picked number 3 was playing coy the whole year.
I had pick 4. I was planning on taking Barkley, and I didn't get him. I didn't get a rookie at pick 4.
You were very comfortable. You're like, oh, surely he'll get to me.
Yes.
Because you're thinking, what, who's going to go ahead of him last year? Who are you going to have,
So I ended up getting Gordon. Last year I had Gordon and McCaffrey.
What a good combination that was.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I had Freeman.
So this was a consensus number 1. Yeah. This is, we both saw him just having a good year in an offense that has been ruined by David Gettleman. We love Eli Manning. It's me, David Gettleman.
Alright, so that's our top 10 running backs. We have, let's run through. Let me see if I can remember off the top of my head.
Here we go.
Barkley at 1.
Number 1.
McCaffrey at 2.
Yes.
Elliott at 3. Kamara at 4. Melvin Gordon at 5. David Johnson at 6. Lev Bell at 7. Joe Mixon, Devonta Freeman at 8. Joe Mixon at 9. And then Kerryon flippin' Johnson at 10. Don't listen to us at number 10.
He's going to carry you to a championship.
He's going to carry you to the last place. Don't draft Kerryon.
Draft him. Have to. Just do it.
Don't do it.
You won't regret it.
Don't do it.
And
Draft Marlon Mack. I'm just going to go through quickly a few running backs that I really, really like that aren't in our top 10 list. Marlon Mack, I think he's a freak. Josh Jacobs, I think is a freak. We'll do our sleeper list later, but if you don't see that and you're only watching this, Marlon Mack, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to say. There's only one name outside this list that I think I'm going to actually be really seriously interested in.
Yes.
David Montgomery.
So, that's our top 10. Those were our early round picks. Those were our little couple of sleepers, but we'll do a proper sleeper video. I really enjoyed that.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It always goes quick, these podcasts.
They go so fast. So if you did enjoy this, please smash that like button. Subscribe if this is your first time watching because we would really like it.
Find us on the gram.
Yes, Fantasy Footballers Down Under. Make sure you smash us a few follows and
you won't know who's liked our photos anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that, but you can't see the likes, which we're very sad. We've lost all life meaning.
Yeah. As influencers now, our life is meaningless.
Yes.
So, I guess there's only one thing to do.
Make sure they catch our weekend live mock drafts that we do every weekend from now until the start of the season. Live weekend mock drafts. They will be uploaded to YouTube after, but make sure you are subscribed with the little bell icon switched on so you are notified when we go live with different draft strategies. We're going to compete in these drafts too. Like, we will want you to let us know who wins these drafts.
Absolutely. We're going to have special guests coming in on these mock drafts.
We are going to have special guests coming in on the show. If we can fit,
boys.
Can we fit 3 on this couch? People from our league.
Let's see. The boys.
Jesus, it looks way smaller.
It
on
does.
The camera.
It does.
I feel like there's more room here than what we're...
Yeah, the microphone takes us up a bit. No, look out for when they come because they'll be bringing one of their own jerseys.
One of their own jerseys. It's going to be great. We're going to heaps of episodes. So next episode we do will be our wide receiver rankings. Then we'll do tight end rankings. We're going to do some sleepers, some bold
busts.
Predictions.
Mm-hmm. We'll do some busts.
Some busts.
Who's going to suck.
Yep. It's going to be great. Fantasy football season
stuff.
is only 7 weeks away.
There is no off-season in fantasy football.
There is no off-season.
You're forever doing something.
Drafts, playoffs, rankings. It's great. If you enjoy, like I said, do all that stuff below. My name is Ash.
I'm Justin.
We are the Fantasy Footballers Down Under with our Aussie Ocker accents, bro.
Good as mate.
We'll see you guys next time.
Catch ya.